A court order was entered. In that very court order, it was said very clearly and succinctly that she is no more. No. That she is no more going to try me. Why are they insisting? Why are they insisting? I ask. Because they have no case against me. They have no case against me.
Thank you for joining us once again, fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program from. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the program. Remember, this is a platform that stands for the United States of Biafra. United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the leadership and control of Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the COS. Wherever you are watching this program, you must have to continue to support the United States of Biafra, because that is the only way to go. That is where our faith lies. On this program today, I'm going to share with you a very important video. You are going to hear the account of one of a formidable Biafran son who participated in an election, who conducted the election that was the fairest in that very contraption called Nigeria, even though he was not recognized. I want you to pay attention to this very video. You are going to hear his own account on what transpired. It is so sad that Biafrans cannot be recognized in Nigeria. No matter how we try, no matter what you do, you will not be recognized. Instead, they will come against you. Let's watch and hear what he had to say.
Remember, we were promised that if that election was conducted to be free and fair, accepted by international observers and local observers, that we would be given national honors. So my colleagues were also working hard as Nigerians. So when, according to our efforts, you knew all the problems, all the restrictions, in spite of all that, June 12 came. The election was conducted, it was peaceful. Materials were distributed all over Nigeria promptly in all difficult terrain because of arrangement and logistic preparation we put in place. So when the results started coming in, June 13, 14, in fact it was to be concluded around June 17, 18. The other party, NRC, had even congratulated SDP for winning. You know, suddenly there was a letter served on me by Commissioner of Police that we should cease forthwith in releasing the results. I summoned on June 16 emergency meeting of the commission. All the results had come in, with the exception of that of Taraba, which the resident electoral commissioner from Delta, Professor Sada, was on his way to bring. We would have released the result about June 17. So they said, stop. I was served. In fact, I was called in a meeting of National Defense and Security Council and said, would you release this result without knowing? I said, that's the law. There was no provision of the highest ruling military body to vet the result. The law says that the result should be announced at each level. The polling station level, ward headquarters, local government, state, and finally their conclusion at headquarters. In fact, almost every person, owing to the communication system we put in place, could even collate to know that Abiola had won. Now, with that, My commission met and we decided that we would challenge that ruling by court, Abuja High Court, because it's Commissioner of Police that served it. And when the next step was I was summoned at the level of the National Defense Security and Defense Council.
Headed by Babangida?
Babangida and Abacha was prominent. They said, okay, that a committee headed by Abacha should find a solution to the problem. I said, how do we find a problem? We should be allowed to conclude what we started. He said, Abacha. In that committee, I'm quoting names. Abacha was in it. Nyako. Nyako was in it. General Aliyu Gusso was in it. David Mark was in it. Was the Minister of Communication. I was in it. Secretary of the Commission, Director of Legal Services was in it. Professor Deria, National Commissioner representing River State. We met in Abacha. When we met in Abacha's house, guest house in Abuja, he set another subcommittee, including myself, Akpambo, late now, Akilu, the Secretary of the Commission, I think one other advisor in law in the State House. When we got at that subcommittee level, I told them, gentlemen, there is nothing for us to meet. The law is clear. Elections have been conducted. Results have been collected. The only one remaining is that of Taraba. And he had come along with it. Please allow us to conclude. We are a technical body. We are not politicians. In any case, if you don't want us to release the result, you should call Abiola and Tofa or negotiate with Abiola. That Abiola was the winner. Well, you know, military. The military personnel in it were afraid. They said, okay, you report, you are the chairman of the commission. We went back to Abacha's guest house. And I reported, well, sir, the law that allowed us to conclude this election made no provision for this technical body, for your committee. You should allow us to conclude the result with that of Taraba and announce it. Or you call in Abiola and negotiate with him. He shouted on me, who are you to tell us what to do? You are not a member of National Defense and Security Council. You are not. The council and the court decided you should not conduct the election. You went ahead and conducted the election, that it was illegal. You will recall, throughout Abacha's regime, his Minister for Information regarded our election as illegal. He said, well, you are not a member. Go to Aso Rock, where all of us will now take a decision. What will happen? Call all your national commissioners. That was, it's a military regime. So, because many people didn't know what, so I was to call my secretary to invite all my national commissioners to come to Aso Rock. It was David Mark. He was then the Minister of Communication, who called, used mobile. That's when the mobile was starting. He called myself, Andrew Mana. I'm mentioning them. Called, you all wanted at Aso Rock. We went there. Here was a full meeting.
Which date was that?
Was around 18, yes, all this 18 June. When we got there, Babangida said, NEC, National Electoral Commission, what is your position on this election? I answered, I was the boss, leadership of NEC stops with me. I said, sir, allow us just 2 minutes so that it will not be Humphrey Nwosu's decision. It will be that of National Electoral Commission. He said, okay, 2 minutes. We went to one of the rooms. Said, gentlemen, ladies and Eruku was a lady National Commission. We don't have anything to do with politics of this. They should allow us to conclude and announce whoever did not like the outcome should go to tribunal. That's the provision of the law. You know, we were talking of institutions. Allow institutions to work. Whoever didn't like it should go to tribunal. They said, you are reporting. Okay. We came out. Sir, this is the decision of the commission. Allow us to conclude this election and announce the result. And that we will challenge that letter, court decision, which Commissioner of Police served on me, that we should stop announcing it. We will go to Federal Court of Appeal, Kaduna Division. So he said, okay, you people are on your own.
Babangida said that.
The decision of he said, well, you know, in all this I've mentioned them. So you went to court, not by the Attorney General of the Federation should have championed that position, but he did not. It was Director of Legal Services in NEC, Bello. He's still alive. No, Buhari Bello. I mentioned in my book. Went to Kaduna Court of Appeal, filed the papers. We submitted all the results, including that of Taraba, showing that Abiola won the election. Abiola was represented by Eke Ajayi. Tofa was represented. The court held first sitting. Justice Achike mentioned it. Achike, late, may his soul rest in peace, was the chairman. He was ready to conclude. He ordered Abuja High Court to submit all matters relating to the election, all the results, and they were submitted to his court for accelerated hearing and decision for June 25th, 1993. Please. Now, this was done. Abiola was, he knew all that. And when you submit something to court, it becomes public document. Is it not? All the results were submitted to the court, appeal division, headed by Achike, showing that Abiola won. Abiola knew. Why did Nigerian press not pick it from? Now, when this was to be done June 25th, the military quickly dissolved my commission on June 23rd.
But one quick question.
Yes.
That there was a pronouncement you made that this election is inconclusive.
Because the result was no.
Which date was that?
No, I can't quite remember, but it may have been in the book. The date, the inconclusive, that we were not allowed to announce it. It became a subject of court dispute, and all the results, as shown in this book, no other result, as shown in the court, submitted before June 20, before my commission was dissolved. All the election results were submitted. It became public document. And when my commission was dissolved on June 23, we were sacked.
Where did you go next?
What will I do when I'm no longer chairman?
Where did you go?
No, I was in Nigeria.
You went back to Enugu?
We went back to Enugu. I went, first when it was annulled,
Was there any time you were threatened physically, bodily harm?
No, I wasn't, to tell you the truth. Yeah. No person harmed me. Okay. But throughout Abacha's regime,
everybody was keeping a low profile.
Thank you. When June 12th is coming close, some police will
parading
around my neighborhood. Yes.
Just to make sure that you don't make any pronouncement.
Yes. Because we were dissolved. Because if I had made a pronouncement, I was no longer chairman. National Electoral Commission was no longer the appointed Oya.
So you're saying for public record to
yes.
say that Abiola won that election?
I am saying it. And it's in my book. I've said this is not the first time.
Right.
And in all the documents we submitted as far back as June 20, 1993, and which we submitted by Buhari Bello, Director of Legal Services, not Attorney General of the Federation, to tell you the extent I went.
But the question people ask, and why your book was a little controversial, was the fact that it seems to be always protective of...
No. Why I did about... No. I didn't protect about Abacha. What happened is that when on June 11, I appeared before the meeting of National Defense and Security Council, when it became obvious they didn't want election because they were divided, Abacha group, Abacha wanted to, and you could see it thereafter when Babangida stepped aside and Shonika was met. He pushed Shonika was made to resign. Abacha took over. So this indicated that the military was divided.
Were you in touch with Babangida after this decision, after your organization was dissolved? Or have you been in touch with him in such a way as to compare notes, like why did we allow things to go there?
No. He even because he knew all that I said in that book was true. I mentioned name. I mentioned Nigeria. No one when you mention name, if it's a lie, they will challenge you. I've mentioned David Mark again about people who invited us to come to Asoro. I mentioned Nyako. He's still living. I mentioned all the people. Bello, Director of Legal Service. Unfortunately, Akwambo is no more from my own part of the country. He didn't believe in what, But Bello, from Kebbi, there were really some Nigerians because who felt if we allowed the process, because we believe in the two-party structure. We believe that election was free and fair. We believe that Nigerians, even NLC had accepted the result. We believe it had allowed, Abiola would have had his 8 years, another person would have, and the institution would grow. I talked here about institution building. It is when you grow, have sense of mission, you learn by experience, you conduct it, you hand over, and there can be no substitute to parties that start from grassroots and is open and is funded by government. No one man will bring his money to decide I'm going to endorse, I'm going to see all the endorsement in Nigeria.
The question I was trying to raise was...
The person you just heard his voice is Humphrey Nwosu, the man that conducted the fairest election in the zoological republic called Nigeria. He is a Biafran. He was the one that conducted the June 12th election. Even after all said and done, the people who were being elected, of which he was the one that released the result, have been honored. But no honor was given to him because he's a Biafran. No honor was given to Humphrey Nwosu. He was electoral chairman of INEC, who conducted a fair election to elect Abiola and went ahead to call the result against all odds. Even when the military were trying to stop him, he refused and he called the result. But yet, he was not recognized. After The person who won the election, which is Abiola, has been recognized and his vice recognized. But this man who conducted that election and took the risk of raising the result was never honored or remembered, simply because he's a Biafran. When we say that Nigeria have no place for you, you won't believe it, you won't understand. In any way, in any manner you serve Nigeria, you will come back in shame. It is better you serve Biafra, give your all for Biafra. That is the only place your faith lies. Support the United States of Biafra with all your strength, with all your might. Give everything you have to the United States of Biafra. That is where your faith lies. That is where your hope lies. Only United States of Biafra can defend you, can protect you, can provide for you, and can give you that respect you desire and deserve. Until we understand this, we will continue to serve the zoo and come back in shame, if not in coffin. This man that spoke now is dead. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you for watching. See you again on the next episode.